Call Halayim La Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shah Bahashim Rakakwadash. I want to give a double honors to the apostles and elders that prophesied and rule well for the hopeful 144 and the 1/3 of Yasharallah, who this world refers to as Israel, starting at the house of Great Millstone. Shalom to you Akim, who teach and learn in sincerity. Shalom to the Akwith, who learn in sincerity. It's your brother, Kutnan, from the Sindianapolis camp. And I'm going to name this Whoa, 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 United States. And that whore, the Statue of Liberty, okay? Spiritual Babylon. This is Isaiah chapter 5, starting in verse 20. Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil. So we know this world is given into the hands of the wicked. Job 9:24. Okay. So the wicked is running this earth. The wicked, evil, bad times. Okay. So their plan is to do everything opposite of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, righteousness. Okay. That put darkness for light. All right. But they have the nerve to call us black, even though there's no such race is a black race, or even a human being that is black. Okay, you may be dark purple, you're not black. And light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet. Okay, and that's the funny thing. I'm over here in spiritual Babylon, the capital, spiritual Babylon, which is America, which means bitter. And sweet for bitter. Woe unto them that are wise in their own eyes, lean not to your own understanding, and prudent in their own sight. Okay, and see, that's why we have this ABC pride, because people lean into their own do as thy will. Alex Crowley grandchildren. People lean into their own understanding has brought us nothing but wickedness. Okay. So now you got flags with rainbows telling people what they think should be the agenda of the world. Okay? All manners of wickedness. Okay? So as the kings are, so are the subjects. And look at the subjects of this place, spiritual Babylon, that has caused all the nations to drink the wine. So all the nations are drunk off of this wickedness. This is Isaiah 10:1. Woe to them that decree unrighteous decrees. Okay, so these so-called laws that get switched up from time to time whenever he desires to change something up or have us unawares to what's up next. What does he do? He writes unrighteous decrees. Okay, now let's get straight to business. Where I'm going with this video, these so-called sanctions that he put on these nations to cripple them, even his allies. Okay, but we'll get back to that. And that right grievousness which they have prescribed. Remember, they're physicians of no value. Okay, remember that. All right. So once again, we're talking about the United States, the not so great. Okay. This is the book of Jeremiah 22:13. Woe unto them that buildeth his house by unrighteousness. Well, who fits that description, vocab? Who came over here and slaughtered a nation of people? You so-called northern tribe, you not so-called Salakia, you northern tribe, so-called Native Americans and Hispanics to this day, and driven them off of their lands, misplaced them from their land. Okay, all right, that's the northern tribe. Okay, in other nations, you did this along the way. We know that, but we're talking about present this time. Woe unto him that buildeth his house by unrighteousness, and his And hey, what they say to the victors go the spoils. Yeah, we know that. And his chambers by Rome, okay, that useth his neighbor's service without wages. Okay, do we got to go into that? Okay, now, not only did you slaughter the northern tribe, but then you brought the southern tribe, Judah, Levi, and Benjamin. You brought them in chains and fetters, okay, along with some of the northern tribes that was mixed in, but still, you brought them here and you caused them to work for free. And you still living off of that income to this day. Okay? And give him not for his work. Okay? So that useth his neighbor's service without wages, and giveth him not for his work. And look, right now, you get a check when you go to work, but what happens to that check? It's literally right before you get to see it. And what are they doing with that money? Are they putting back into the infrastructure that's crumbling? Are they building up? Are they giving our children good food in school? No. Are they giving them good information in school? No. Okay, what are they doing with this money? Pouring it into unneedless wars. Okay? To wicked agendas. Trying to bait Africa billions of dollars to be part of the ABC agenda, which got slapped down. Billions. Double digit billions. Okay? But you won't take care of your own yard. This is the book of Amos, chapter 6, verse 1. Woe to them that are at ease in Zion. Here, okay, Zion, that's you so-called African Americans, Native Americans, Hispanics that are at ease, thinking that we can, like they said, the new trend is begging Trump to come back. When we're supposed to have only Yasharallah above us. We're only supposed to have so-called African Americans, Native Americans, Hispanics running our people, who Yahweh Bahashmi Awashah has appointed, by the way. Not of our own will, not because they tall, not because they look good. We did that. We done it. That's Saul. Okay? But men that are after the will of Yahweh Bahashmi Awashah are supposed to be our leaders. And that's coming, starting with Yahweh Shai, then King David, then the hopeful 144, the 144, who we are now known as the hopeful 144. Once the Lord has established that by putting them crowns on their head for earning it. Okay? Standing stiff in his name. All right? Woe unto them that are at ease in Zion, you 2/3, and trust in the mountain of Samaria, spiritual Samaria, where we are now. What's the mountain? The government. Oh, Trump, we need you back. Well, you wanted Trump out. You wanted Biden. Oh, happy days, singing ass motherfuckers. I remember those videos. You know, I remember those videos. But now you got the devil. He said he was the devil. He calls himself the devil. And no, he's not the Antichrist. He's a puppet. He's part of the Antichrist. Antichrist is anti-Hamashiach Yum. That's what he is. There's many of them. Look around. And trust in the mountain of Samaria, which are named chief of the nations. Right? That's right. To whom the house of Yasharallah, you so-called African Americans, Native Americans, Hispanics come. And the southern tribe keep coming pouring in. Little do they know, woe unto them that trust in Egypt, okay? Because their horses are many, meaning their so-called military and their power. You still believe in the height. Like Favorite Flav said, don't believe the height, all right? Now let's get an example of that. Let's get going on that. As you see right here, I have the fair use copyright. So I'm not trying to sell any product. I'm just here to teach. Let's get it.
Member countries of BRICS, a growing non-Western economic collective, are meeting for their 15th annual summit in South Africa this week with a big announcement. 5 new member countries have been added to the current bloc: Egypt, Ethiopia, Argentina, the UAE, Iran, and Saudi Arabia. They join current members Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. Now, at the summit, leaders from member countries discussed de-dollarization, Western global hegemony, and moving toward a multipolar world.
In a thinly veiled statement, Chinese President Xi Jinping wrote, quote, "One country obsessed with maintaining its hegemony has gone out of its way to cripple the emerging markets in developing countries. Whoever is developing fast becomes its target of containment. Whoever is catching up becomes its target of obstruction. But this is futile. As I have said more than once, that blowing out others' lamp will not bring light to oneself." Joining us now to weigh in is editor at The Gray Zone, Max Blumenthal. Thanks for joining us.
Okay.
Thanks for having me.
So blowing out other people's lamps. What's that? That's that sword. Okay? That E was given. Not just Babylon, but here the main E's main foundation is over here. The capital of this world of wickedness starts here at Sodom, Egypt. Okay? Spiritual, I said Sodom, Salakia. Spiritual Egypt, spiritual Sodom and Gomorrah, spiritual Babylon, okay? Blowing out their other people's candle. That's right. That's all they want to do. Steal, kill, and rob. All right. Back to these scriptures. This is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2. Salakia. Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 6. Shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, taunting, wagging your finger, basically, laughing at him, against him, and saying, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his. What is the United States known for? Setting up garrisons, setting up bases everywhere, all over this world. Okay, how are they doing that? By blood, by measure of killing. Okay, and saying, woe to him that increaseth that which not Salaki, that increaseth that which is not his. How long? And to him that lendeth himself with, that laddeth himself with thick clay. That's debt. Now, spiritually, that's all the blood you have on your hands, Babylon. Starting here, okay? Well, nearly just starting with our people. You've been on this masquerade of bloodshed before the Americas. We know that, okay? Book of Maccabees, all right? Alexandria, and evils was increased, okay? But beyond that, though, in this present time, that this time that we live in, this eon, this world that you are definitely ruling right now, all you done was seek after other nations' resources, okay? That's why even Africa told some of these European Edomite nations, you got to give us back our gold if you're trying to join this over here. See, remember, this is going to be Edomite on Edomite, the Egyptians versus the Egyptians spiritually. Okay? Russia ain't a Japhet. Russians are Edomites. Edom's number one enemy is they self. They number one foe is they own household. And everybody else is going to get drawn into it. Okay? This is the book of Ezekiel 38 and 1. And the words of Yahweh Shem Yahushai came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, Russia, the land of Magog, the chief priests of Meshach and Tubal, and prophesied against him, and say, thus saith Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, behold, I am against thee, O God, the chief priest of Mishak and Tubal, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thee jaws, and I will bring thee forth. And what this is when Putin came back and reestablished the Soviet Union, which had fallen. That's why this major gripe about Ukraine is being made. He wants all the territory back that was lost. I want to say World War II, okay? 80s, when the Cold War era, okay? Putin wanted to reestablish this, okay? And it's the will of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua because it's time for war, all right? And all thy armies, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with buckles and shields. And what are those today? That's those tanks, those airplanes, those jets, those fighter jets, those war boats, you name it. All sorts of your current technology. Now you got drones. Okay, this is all partaking to the same thing. Okay, all of them handling swords. What's your modern day sword? Any weapon. Okay, so Yahweh Bashim Yahushua has set this up, and it's all of His will. He's telling us that I'm bringing this out. Okay, now here's another example.
Now, this feels like a really significant global shift, and an end, as people are saying, to Western hegemony that many people predicted as we headed into this Ukraine proxy war, China becoming more closely aligned with Russia, and this growth of this economic alliance that's meant to counterbalance Western hegemony and economic dominance seems to be really telling. Help us understand what's at stake here.
Well, this is the most historic gathering of the BRICS, which was founded in 2009 to democratize international trade and international institutions by fostering multipolarity, countering the bipolar, unipolar world that's emerged since the collapse of the Soviet Union, which has brought on disaster for the global South, as well as
Didn't I say that?
unchecked violations of international law through coalitions of the willing, as we've seen in Iraq and beyond. The BRICS aims to foster trade through a new development bank, as it's called, and this could potentially upend the hegemony, the domination of the dollar, particularly if states like Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates, which provide the basis for the petrodollar, which is itself the foundation of dollar hegemony, if they join and begin trading in local currency. For example, Saudi Arabia is discussing.
So once again, when this BRICS is established, and it will later on this year, the dollar is looking at a 55-to-1 deficit. That's making the dollar like 5 cents upon a dollar that we live in today. Well, once again, I seen this 2 years ago. The Saudi Arabian prince laughed at Biden. Okay? I forget the comment that was made, degenerate, or was something to that extent. But Biden had mocked him earlier. And then one of his secretary just literally blurted out without permission, is the prince this way now? And the prince laughed at Biden nationally. He already told him no. Fox News want to mock Biden and say, oh, Biden's weak for going to bed. What else can you do but throw rockets? I'm repeating myself from the last time I brought this up. He either had to beg him to keep the dollar alive or to start war. Okay, the Saudi prince said no. So I've been understanding that the dollar's dead, but now it's been presented. Okay, is here. Yeah. All you, woe to you that are E's and Zion, you so-called African Americans, Native Americans, Hispanics, 'cause that's all we focus on. The rest of these nations are going to get it. But you actually have a chance at repentance, okay? This is the book of Joel, chapter 3, verse 1. For behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem together, I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat. What do we know that is? Armageddon, baby. The war of all wars. That's why I named this Woe, Woe, Woe. Okay? Woe, destruction, war. And will plead. Oh, he ain't plead don't mean I'm coming to talk. No, he's going to put his fist down, okay, with them there for my people. Whoa, who is that to come from Bozrah with the dyed garments? Okay, that action, that way, okay? Keep up. He's coming. He's not to come see you as a man. He's coming to war with the host, the angels, okay? But in the meanwhile, he's going to have you Egyptians against the Egyptians and the other nations, all just fillers of the movie. Fill-ins. Yeah, you got to partake too. Along with you 2/3 Jakes. Yeah, you're going to be right signed up in Uncle Sam's death trap. Okay? So let me start over at 2. I will also gather all the nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, Armageddon, and will plead with them, therefore, my people, you so-called African Americans, Native Americans, Hispanics, and for my heritage, your family, Yasharallah, right there, whom they have scattered amongst nations, all the nations. That's why we got speckled birds. You look like everybody else, but the spirit bears for itself, okay? And parted my land. Okay, they parted the land over here that was given to the northern tribe. They parted the actual land that was given to all tribes over there. You already know what they call the Middle East, which is no such thing, starting at the motherland, Yasharallah, Israel. Okay, which the 49ers are fighting daily, day and night to so-called own because it doesn't belong to them. And who are they? Edom. And they, this is 3. And they have cast lots for my people and have given. Okay, this is Joel 3:3. And they have cast lots for my people and have given a boy for a harlot and sold a girl for wine, that they might drink. Okay, all of these things have taken place right here on this soil, spiritual Babylon. Okay, for real. Then the United States, bitter. Okay, spiritual Egypt, bondage. Yea, and what have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon, and all the coast of Palestine? All you nations have taken place. Will ye render me recompense? And if ye recompense me swiftly and speedily, will I return your recompense, the big payback, upon your own head. Okay? So Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is set up these nations to knock them down. Okay? He set up these nations, I'm going to say it again, to knock them down. All right? I got one more of these for you.
Complication.
The U.S. has been trying to, flex its influence all over the world for so long. You know, we've spent so much money. We're spending so much money right now in Ukraine, the projects in the Middle East, the bases everywhere, on and on and on. Do you think the American people might feel at some point cheated by their government, that so much money of this money has been spent and you might say that was not a good idea to do this in the first place, but we did do it, and yet we did not. We our influence is in decline, despite how much effort and how many resources we've exhausted to remain, the top country, the top government in the world.
Well, our course.
Now you see, right there, I didn't schedule to pull it out, but that's that second Esdras 15, where there will be sedition amongst men, because people are tired of Babylon, the whore, starting inwardly at home. Okay, we're not just gonna have wars; we're gonna have civil war. Then war is actually coming to this place, the virgin, that's never experienced it. Okay. Well, hey, it's gonna rain. Yahweh Shem Shah said he gonna make quick work of this place. This is the book of Revelations 17, starting at 15. And he saith unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the whore sitteth, are people, okay, and multitudes and nations. You get it? The whore, spiritual Babylon, the United States, okay, are people. That's what we are. And nations and tongues, okay? And the 10 horns which thou sawest, Salakia, and the 10 horns which thou settest upon the beast. What's the beast? NATO, okay? These shall hate the whore. Don't they already? She's already made it. United States has already made it once again through those so-called sanctions, trying to make it hard on everybody else. You've already made it hard on Europe and everybody that's close over there to Russia, trying to get at them. You cut off their gas. You blew up that pipeline. You cut off them from heat. You cut off them from food, grain. Yeah, your own allies. We know how you get down. And if you put Trump back in, remember, Trump was trying to cut us off from NATO completely. Thank you. Okay? These shall hate the whore. Once again, the whore, Babylon, spiritual Babylon, United States, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. What's that? Them IBMs. They coming, baby, to a theater near you. No, they coming to a place near you where you live, to your neighborhood. Sarah Connor moment, all right? So that's what's in store for the United States. I'm going to read this again. For spiritual Babylon, spiritual Sodom, Egypt. Okay? DTA. And we mean it. This is Revelation 17 and 16. And the 10 horns which thou sawest, which thou settest upon, Salakia, the beast, okay? These shall hate the whore, who's the queen that's in charge, all right? And shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh. So you got all these nations that are at odds, that are enemies to the United States, but then you got to worry about her own friends turning on her. What a beautiful thing. Okay? And shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. Once again, those IBMs. Then come the concentrated lasers from the chariots of Yahweh Shem Yahushua and his host to finish the job. Once again, gonna make quick work of you. Okay? And with that, I pray that this was edifying. The Wadi Yahweh Shem Yahushua. But before I go, side note, right here. This is the book of Second Esdras, chapter 6. Then did I consider these things, and they all were made, and they all were made through me alone. This is Yahweh Shem Yahushua, and through none other by me also they shall be ended, okay? And by none alone. So I don't like chopping up a verse like that. I got to start over. This is Second Esdras, chapter 6, verse 6. Then did I consider these things, I being Yahweh by Shem Yahushai, and they all were made through me alone, and through none other but me, Yahweh by Shem Yahushai, by me also thy shall be ended, okay? And by none other. So once again, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua come, he creates, he destroys. Satan is no other than another angel carrying out his will. Okay? The whole everything that you see goes through the will of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, okay? Then answered, and I said, what shall be the pardon asunder of the times, or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth? Remember, when this world gets taken out, the world ain't blowing up. It's the end of an eon, the end of a rulership. And Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is ending it like no other. He's not, see, look, he's taking over all kingdoms. So everything got to go. Everything won't be completely scorched other than, Babylon will, and so will Israel. Israel's got to be cleansed for all its wickedness so we can go back home to a clean place, cleansed and rebuilt. But this will be the grand finale of all wars, okay? World War III. Remember, Einstein said that the next war would be fought with sticks. Won't be no more laser guns and and droids falling around, because we're going to do away with all of that in this one, okay? Thus says the scriptures. Then answered in 7. Then answered I and said, what shall be the pardon asunder of the times? Or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of that followeth? And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. Now, you imagine that. They're in the belly fighting. Rebecca had to go and inquire of an angel, or speak to a prophet and ask of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua what's going on. He said 2 different manner of men are in your belly. Vocab, and the rest of you bums, they can't get that. You don't believe in the Bible if you don't believe in these words. 2 different nations, okay? And Esau, Jacob grabbing Esau's heel represented, you got it now, we got next. But we got forever. He had a short reign, we got forever, okay? For Esau is the end of the world, the end of that eon, this time period, this miserable, wicked time period. For the world was given to the hands of the wicked for a current time. But wickedness has its cutoff date. It's due time, okay? And Jacob is the beginning of that followeth everlasting righteousness, okay? And with that, I pray that this was edifying. We got next, Shalom.